for the return of GT4?
Oh, I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
Clouden and Richard's done the exact same lap time.
Fucking hell, man. I said that about 2 hours ago.
Oh, did you? Cloud's just put the picture on.
God, you're such a fucking helmet. You, Tony Bates. Sorry, Tony. I'll calm down now. I'm just so excited.
How do you can't hide it?
It's fucking.
I'm about to lose control and I think I like it.
I'm about to lose your mom and I think I like it. Why is that not working? Oh, for fuck's sake. Tony's coming home. I love you, Tony. I love you.
Tony Dan's talking to you.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't fucking care. You don't fucking care. You don't love me. I'm busy too, but I'm still giving you love and attention, bitch. Why don't you love me? Ah! He doesn't love me.
Oh no, he doesn't love me, Dan.
I can't understand why he doesn't love you. What time GT4 start?
Who's that?
Now. Gary.
And you ain't signed up much.
Remember,
Oh,
no
okay.
signy uppy.
No signy uppy, no racy wacy. No Axel.
Axel.
GT4s! Oh my god.
Places.
Top 8, 7/10.
Sorry, babe, it's only practice. Yeah.
Yeah, knock you the fuck out, bitch. How dare you touch my man? Yeah, Tony. I'm sorry. Ah!
Hang on.
What?
I'm gonna put my 1 minute, Axel. Service set, Gary.
So tough fucking shit. You had your
Sorry,
chance.
Get signed up for next week, Gary, and I'll get you in the role. Axel, now. Hold on to it with me. Good boy.
You'll be starting on pole next week.
Yeah, you would be as well.
And no ballast.
Yeah, oh, Gary, no ballast on pole in the Ginetta. I think I've got my tip for the win.
At Hungaroring. Tony's coming home! Go on, girls. Oh, the girls are better than the boys. Yeah, good on you, girls. Fuck, man. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, Peony?
Yeah, women. Women's tennis. Yeah.
What?
Nothing. Don't mind me. Oh, Sky's gone faster.
Smithy!
Smithy, go to SimPlay Motorsport channel and talk there.
No, Axel, I'm not
Smithy.
letting go. I'm not letting go, Axel.
Smithy, you do whatever you like, beautiful.
Go and listen to Dan's subtle tones.
Welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis. I'm reading all the ocean here. Here.
Oh, yeah.
Axel, no.
Has Pikachu returned, has he?
Fair enough.
What?
Yeah, look, Gary was only around this Tuesday. He's not always around on a Tuesday. He said stupid. He said the new rules are bollocks.
You're bollocks. Stop people like him completely whitewashing it. God. How dare he? How dare he say that? God.
Why are my tyres well over pressure now?
Because track has now gone greasy.
Right, Axel, off. 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 No.
It's not got any hotter, so...
I don't know why.
That bastard.
He told us he won the competition, Smith.
What?
Whoops, I didn't notice.
What did he say?
He got third in the golf competition.
Who did?
Gary. Gary said he'd won.
When does he actually do a sport that's actually any good?
He won. I did when he's full of shit. I won Div 2. He won Div 2. Third overall. Yeah, I'm sorry, Smith. I got to agree with Gary. A win's a win, pal. Don't matter if it's Div 1 or Div 2, bud.
Nah, Pro-Am don't count. Pro-Am doesn't count, Matt.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No.
I ran in there with ballast and restrict to see how it does.
God, you're such a fucking gay, aren't you?
Smithy, you can't say it don't count, otherwise our championship don't count, Smith. That trophy you've got. You sure you said it foot of it there, Mush. See you later, Jam. Love you, bud.
Night, Dad stream.
Night, James!
Dan says night, Jammy. Dan says night.
Night, Dad.
When you get a minute, babe, can I have a drink? I'll do a drink in a minute, baby.
Do one in a minute, but it's not going to be until Axel's settled.
That's fine, baby. Alright, wait for these next couple of calls. In fact, I'm on an out app, so come on. Mwah, love you. Go on, Smithy.
Smitty. Did Borough Bex's car put you off a bit then, Matt?
I'm just struggling to break into turn one. What's Tibbs' lap time?
1:30.7.
Yeah, I've been in there. Lobby is now fast. What's up, babe? Oh, yeah, my things have come. They looked alright, yeah. I didn't realise it were two small ones. I thought it was one big one.
It was. I thought they were bigger than that. I've got one for both of us.
Right.
See you later, you bunch of miserable cunts.
See you later, bud.
Love you, Tony.
Right,
Where's comms box? There it is. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsports. And we welcome back one of our all-time favorite series. We brought back the GT4s, and like I said, what an iconic and fantastic series we ran all the way back in the day. And it's awesome to have these cars back. My name is Dan Davis, and I'll be bringing you all the action on a Tuesday night with these fantastic cars and these fantastic drivers. Obviously, following the rest of the season, following the GT3 package, the GT4s will be now the leading show going into the weeks of racing. And like I said, we've got an interesting system, an interesting way of racing these cars this season, and it's definitely going to spice up the grid. It's going to show some interesting driving and racing, and we will have the return of the GT4 champion coming back to defend his title, hopefully later on in the season. But this time out, I'm out of the box and bringing you guys all the actions. Before we get into the drivers and the cars, we will obviously talk about the location we're at, not just for the GT4s, but for the GT3s. We're at Laguna Seca for the next round of the championship and for the start of the GT4s. And what an iconic and brilliant circuit. We've been to two of the American circuits already this season, and here is number 3. But first for the GT4s, and obviously this hosts one of the most famous corners in racing, which is the corkscrew. We're currently on board with Diz at the minute, who's heading up towards the corkscrew at the minute, and probably the most famous corner in the world. And I said it's an iconic circuit, and I do have some facts about the corkscrew. I think it says the racetrack is 2.2 miles long with a 180-foot elevation change, and between turns 11 are highlighted in the circuit, signature to the downhill pulling of the corkscrew from turn 8 to turn A. And like I said, it's a very challenging circuit here. It built back in 1957, cost them 1.5 million raised locally from businesses and individuals from the US Army, and it's FIA grade 2. And the most iconic things that do come here are the IndyCar series, the Le Mans American series come here as well, and many other events as well. But Laguna Seca is sponsored by Mazda. I believe now Mazda has the rights to the circuit. And it's definitely a challenging circuit, not just for GT3s, but even for these GT4s. Just the look at the corkscrew there on your screen, massive elevation changes, and it's definitely going to be a lot of work for the boys here tonight. Let's have a run through of the drivers that are here tonight, and we'll start from top to bottom. And obviously, championship winning car last time was the BMW M4 in the hands of Fury CBK, aka Joe, and Joe will be making a return back to the GT4s. He's not here with us tonight, but he will be here for the next round at the Hungaroring, and he will be returning back in his M4. Sadly, no Chevys this season, but we've got a lot more Aston Martins and Porsches this season. So we'll start from the top. The man setting the pace at the minute is your homeboy here. It is Sky Schundelmeyer leading the way in the Aston Martin, choosing to go what seems to be quite the popular car this season, and he's gone for a more British look. Then we look to Jamal Clouden, the pro driver going for the pro championship. He's gone the BMW M4 as well, and he's a massive BMW fan anyway, so I think he probably enjoys driving that car. Then we got Beasley in the Aston Martin. Like I said, the Aston Martin seems to be a very popular car, well balanced, easy to drive, easy to push, and we'll see how he gets on. Your normal commentator on a Wednesday and a Thursday, Matthew Duffin, now has a full drive in the GT4s. Obviously me saying to him, allowing him to race the GT4s. He's in the Ginetta running the British car, and famously followed the British Touring Car package, and a great little race car as well. Then we got Cordoff. I'm going to go with Cardoff. I'm terrible if I'm mispronouncing that. He's gone the McLaren, I believe it's the 670S, or something like that. I don't know exactly off the top of my head what it is, but it's a McLaren. He's opted for that. Very good in a straight line, but not very good in the corners. And then you got your contender for the Pro-Am Championship, Dizzle, in the Porsche. Very different to the big brother of the 992. The Cayman is a light easy to I'd say easy to drive. It's a bit twitchy at times, but a good little car nonetheless. Let's see how he gets on. Can he take on the big boys in GT4? Then we got Barron. You can see my dyslexia kicking in now. Barrett. We'll go Barrett. I don't know the first names because they've not been put down, but Barrett is in the Mercedes-Benz. I believe the only Mercedes-Benz I've seen here tonight. A very good all-round balanced car, and we'll see how he gets on this evening. Then we've got Tim Ventink. I partnered with him in the endurance race at Imola, and we won the race, obviously, due to other events and server issues. We went on to win the event, but we're still under some under investigation for some penalties, and I think a few of the drivers are. So he's currently PA and looking to run the Aston Martin this season. Another Aston Martin, Senna, is in P9. He's in the part of the BSP Motorsport clan, as is Sky Schundermeyer and Tim Ventink, and we'll see how these guys get on in the Aston Martin, probably helping one another tune the car. Sam, an FBR driver, and these guys do love to run the GT4s, and they practice quite a lot with them, and they're in the Aston Martin again. Romeo was in the Porsche 992 in Pro-Am. He's in the Porsche once again here. We've got Dennis Newman, another one in the McLaren. Very bright, colourful McLaren there. With Ian Gray also opting to go for the Porsche. And then we got Holing in the Porsche as well, with S2M Borobex running the Ginetta. And the only different car here tonight is Phil Radin has opted to go for the Alpine, a very, very good GT4 car, one to keep an eye on as well. And Darren Bell going for the BMW M4. Earlier on, Jamal Clouden and Richard Beasley were close on lap times, but it has been Sky Schundermeyer who is leading the way in practice at the minute, as I nearly lost my voice there. So that's the drivers. The concept here tonight, this is going to be fast, this is going to be furious, and it's going to be very, very quick racing. There's no pit stops involved. The drivers do not need to pit this event. And there's two sprint races. It is 20-minute races, and that is it. They'll go from lights to flag, flat out, and hard racing. For the first two rounds, there's no ballast, there's no reverse grid, there's no nothing. So this is what you got at the start of the season. Moving on to round 2 of the season, the cars will then start to go into a reverse grid order for the first race. Obviously, leading the championship will start at the back, and so on and so forth. But also, they'll be carrying ballast, aka weight, to slow them down. This is what they run in the British Touring Car Series back in the day. They used to carry a bit of ballast to kind of level out the playing field. So the faster guys get hampered ever so slightly and give the slower guys more an opportunity to win races. So with the reverse sprint race and the ballast on board, this could be a really, really tight championship. And as you can see, the top 8 are already separated by a second. So these cars are tight, they're very fast, they're very fast packed, as in like they'll be close together and they'll be packed racing in a fast group. And I couldn't shout more about this championship. The GT4s are brilliant, and if anyone are watching and they see this and they think, wow, this is actually really good, please get yourself signed up, because these are brilliant. A few of the drivers who've not driven these before has already told us that, why have I not driven these already? They're great. Yes, they're under power. Yes, they're a little bit, basic, they're a bit simpler, but they are brilliant for racing in, and they really do help you learn as a driver and adapt your driving style. And it's going to be great to watch these cars going round. As you can see, there's a variety of manufacturers, and there's much more. There's the Maserati, there's the Chevrolet, there's also the Audi, the KTM Crossbow. I believe there is another one, I can't think off the top of my head, but there are many manufacturers and many different cars, and they're all well balanced. They all drive differently. As you can see there, the Alpine doesn't tend to like the curb, but then you've got the Chevrolet that does love the curbs and just abuses them like nothing. So many cars that have different characteristics, but they're all fantastic to race, and I really do recommend anyone to give them a go. The one I would tell you to avoid is the Maserati, as the Maserati has no brake assists, and it has got no traction control. So that's one to keep an eye out for. As the guys now get themselves into the end of the practice session and go into a qualifying session. Max Mulder seems to be having issues getting into the server by the looks of things. I'll see if there's any reasoning behind it. But Max Mulder just seems to be struggling to get in. We've also got Kimberly in as well. Kimberly, believing they're running a Ginetta. There they are. Hopefully we will get Max Mulder in, but that is the end of practice, and it is Sky Schondelmeyer who leads the way. And who is still out on a lap? It is Ian Gray. Dennis Newman's returned back to the pits. It is just Dennis Newman and Phil. So hopefully this should help Max get into the lobby. Now, I would put a poll up for who you think will take pole position, but being how close it is, I literally have no idea who could take pole. So if you are guys watching in the stream, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. And while you're at it, head over to the description below and also give all of our fantastic sponsors a follow as well. Go on to Audio Sport, the manufacturers of Volkswagen Transport, T4, Audio Solutions, and many, many more products. Go over to www.audiosport.co.uk and also head over to Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing, and much, much more, including SimPlay merchandise. Now, they've all gone out on track. We will be looking, they'll still be running the normal rules, so what the GT3s would follow regarding behavior and rules in that sense, these will still do the same. They will have tickets that they put in, they'll be following, they have to give each other racing room, so on and so forth, and yeah, it's going to be the same rules as GT3s in regards of that sense. So it's going to be really, really exciting to watch. I'm actually very excited to see these cars on track. They're small, they're compact, and they're going to be great to watch. But it is Jamal Clouden who is the first one out on track, and he looks like he's going to be setting the pace. There's no Pro-Am, there's no Pro. This is just pure, flat-out racing. There's no teams involved. It is just pure racing involved. And Jamal Clouden will be the first to set a lap time. Max Mulder has got in. He hasn't gone out yet, nor has Romeo or Tim Benting or Dennis Newman. They're all still in the pits. But we will go with Jamal Clouden, and we will do a lap with Jamal. As he exits the final corner, he heads up towards turn 1. And as he comes up towards turn 1, he comes to the heavy braking zone of Andretti, a double apex corner. And as he comes through here, he's going to go out wide, brake at the 3-meter mark, and try and get the front to turn in. He's gone very deep. The brakes, not great. These tyres are going to be stone cold, and the brakes as well. And he tries to get a good exit out of Andretti, heading down towards turn 2, get the front end to turn in, trying to avoid the inside curve there, because that curve will launch him and throw him in the air. Heading up to turn 3, just brake ever so slightly on the 1, keep the front end turned in. He'll want to understeer. He touches the gravel on exit and then heads up towards turn 4. Into turn 4, braking at the number 2 mark. The GT3s will be braking much later. Slight bang to the corner so you can carry a lot more speed into it and curve your way up towards turn 5. Into turn 5, the inside curve, you can really touch in most of these GT4s, bar the Chevy, and Jamal Clouden already going wide and invalidating his lap times. He ends up towards 7 and 8, 8 being the corkscrew, heading up to 8, into 8A, dropping downhill a lot. He stays in 3rd gear, keep the rear end stable. Matt is behind him, doing a lap time as well as he heads into 9. Doesn't want to run out too wide, keeps the pace, and then heading towards the final few corners here, keeping it in 4th gear, leaving it in the same gear, and then heads up towards the tricky final corner, which you can get away with cutting most of the curve there, but into the final corner he goes towards the start finish line, and that is a lap around Laguna Seca in a GT4. It's going to be Matt though to set the pace, and it's a 1:30.8. Track is now fast. They were running in green. Dizzle now goes into P2. We should have most of the other guys coming to the line. We'll go on board with Sky Schondelmeyer, the man who set the pace, and Skeletor in the chat says good luck, Greasy Bandits, and Volta Racing, Clouden and Bell in the chat as Sky Schondermeyer gets a lap time on the board, but not really representable. Then we got Barron, who goes up into P4. Then we got S2M Borobex crossing the line in the Ginetta. Where's that going to put him? He puts in P4. It is currently a Ginetta on pole at the minute. We've got a couple of cars coming to the line. We have got the number 5, that was Kimberly, and Kimberly goes up to P6, gets dropped straight away as Sam goes to P4 in the Aston Martin. We've got then Phil Radin coming to the line. He goes P8 in the Alpine, not a bad lap time from him, as we've got Holing coming towards the line now in 16th place. What he's going to do, he's going to go up to 5th with the 14 now coming, or is it the... I'm not sure what car that was that crossed the line. It was the 64. It was the 64 of Bell going 8th. Then we got Tim Venting coming to the line. Not a valid lap time as Max Mulder has crossed the line now. They're both on out laps and they'll be starting their flying lap now. We look to the final corner. We got Cardolf. I'm going to really get that wrong until he tells me how to pronounce it. Cardolf? Yeah. The McLaren coming to the line now, and he goes P2, improves his lap time. Matthew Duffin improves Richard Beasley, improves and goes to P2. Now Senna improves. This is what we're going to be starting to see. Cars improving. Sky Schondermeyer has been on a decent lap here. He comes to the line now. Where does it put him? Only 7th fastest. Barron coming to the line now. He goes 8th. We've got a few more cars coming to the line. We've got Romeo coming to the line. I heard a car flinging past there. I'm not sure what it was. It was a Ginetta. That was S2M Borobex. He goes 11th. Romeo doesn't set a lap time. And Dennis Newman doesn't set one either. It's inventing back into the pits. And we've got the number 3 of Holing coming into the final corner in the Porsche. What can he do here as he comes to the line now? And he moves up to 8th place already. The top 8 separated by 9/10. It is close, it is packed, and it is great to see. We've got a car joining the session, even though it is they're in the wrong car, so they're going to have to leave and get back in the correct car. We've got a couple of cars coming towards the line. That was Ian Gray, no improvement. I think it was an invalid lap time. And we've got another improvement. That was Max Mulder. He goes up to 11th. Back to the 55. That is Matthew Duffin in the Ginetta to the line now at 30.8. Does he improve? He does not. Where is Dizzle now improves and goes only 400ths faster. So this is what I'm talking about. They're getting close to one another. Richard Beasley, probably on an improved lap time, comes to the line. No, he does not improve. 24, Sky Schondermeyer. What can he do now? He goes top, fastest of them all, and the pace is getting faster and faster. Barrett goes faster. He goes up to 8th place. Who's next on a valid lap time? It's the 13, I believe. And that is Dennis Newman, finally getting a lap time on the board. Where's he going to put him? 13th place overall. The next one on a valid lap is probably the number 3 of Holing. Yes, it is. P9 at the minute. Sky returns back to the pits, but the track will just keep ramping up faster. It's only at fast at the minute, but more cars on track, the faster it will. And Ian Gray to the final corner now as Pottin is in the wrong car. I think he's left. Yes, he has. He has left the session and realised he's in the wrong car. Ian Gray has improved. It is then Matthew Duffin who stopped on track. He's done his lap time there and looks like he's held up someone ever so slightly. Jamal Clouden next to the line. The 36 running the McLaren in the BMW here tonight, and he does not improve, stays where he is. Richard Beasley, the number 17, does he improve on this lap? No improvement. Sky setting the pace here. Go back to Barrett to then come and complete another lap time around here. Good evening, Tracy in the chat, and Skeletor PN as well, as Barrett does not improve. They're going to start hitting windows. Will they not be able to go any faster? Senna into the final corner. Change of driver. Let's see how he gets on. Towards the line he comes. The 13 of Dennis Newman stays where he is. What does Senna do? No improvement either. So cars seem to be just hitting a wall at the minute, don't seem to be improving. As we've got Kimberly to the final corner, looks like he's on an out lap. Hauling in the Porsche, any improvement here? 11th place at the minute, no improvement. Kimberly starting a lap, I believe, yes they are. And then it's the 777 once again, back to Gray in the final corner. Any improvement here? Yes, he finds some time, but stays in 8th place position. Now half a second to the top time. And there is a whole gaggle of cars. Here we go. It is Jamal Clouden leading them away. As Tim Ventink, I think, is the next car behind Clouden. And to the line comes Jamal Clouden. Any improvement? He goes fastest of them all. And then it is Max Mulder, who only goes 13th. We've got a load of cars coming to the line. Matthew Duffin was on an out lap. Tim Ventink to the line. Is this finally a lap time for him? It is. He goes 11th. So the PSB boys just come in a bit of a slump here. It seems to be Sky Schundelmeyer who seems to be the fastest, but 0.02 of a second separating Clouden and Sky. And Sky now into the pits. He is done, so it's now Senna. He's going to be the first one to complete a lap time here. So was S2M Borough Bex. Senna, he goes P5 in 2/10. It is now the 118 of Romeo, and Romeo goes to P16. A lot of drivers joining the session and realizing that there's an event going on, so I'm not sure why they're joining the session. They should have realized that the schedule has changed, and we've been posting it. Kimberly to the line, and he does improve, go to 16th place. That's another position for him. And the Cranky Duck has got in, but he'll be booted out pretty quickly. There he goes. Yeah, I think a few of the drivers realising that there's a session on. The 75 of Dizzle, has he found any more pace? No, he has not. Matthew Duffin and the 43 of Tim Ventink are the only two left on a lap time. Top 10, top 11 separated by a second. Matt to the line. No improvement, stays at P4. Is then going to be Tim Ventink to the line. Any improvement? He does improve and goes to P9. And that was your first qualifying session of the season. And it's Jamal Clouden on pole position in the BMW. Used to seeing him going on pole in the McLaren. But how close was that qualifying session? 0.02 of a second separating Sky Schundelmeyer and Jamal Clouden. That is close. Dizzle there up into P3 with Matthew Duff in P4. Senna will start P5. Richard Beasley will start in P6. Then it's Cardoff who will start in 7th. Gray in 8th. Tim Ventink in 9th. Barrett in 10th. Sam in 11th. Holing in 12th. S2M Borough Bex in 13th. Max Mulder 14th. Dennis Newman 15th. Kimberly in 16th. Romeo 17th. 18th is Bell. And Raiden at the back of the pack in the Alpine. Reminder as well, guys, there is no pit stops. It is flat out from start to end. Now, we are going to be looking to make sure that all these guys are able to keep their car under control for the 20-minute race. There's no ballast involved. There's no reverse grid. This is the only double qualifying, so they could get a full sweep here. And Jamal Clouden is on course for that, if he can do that. But we're about to get underway racing here at Laguna Seca for the first time this season in the GT4s. I will get a pole going as well.
20 seconds.
So like I said, guys, earlier on, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified if you want to keep an eye on all the action here at SimPlay Motorsport and be notified for when we are live. Looks like all the drivers have made the start. And we're just waiting for the off as Clouden will lead them away. So there is the pole. Who do you think is going to be your first race winner? So we've got Clouden, Schundelmeyer, Dizzle and Duffin. This is going to be a great race, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to this one. It's going to be fun, it's going to be packed, and it's going to be great. So like I said, guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win this one. Clouden has already got 1 vote. If I'm going to go anywhere, I'm actually going to say Beasley. I've seen him race. I've actually raced it firsthand with him in these cars, and he is very, very quick in these types of cars. Right. So we've got BMW, Aston, Ginetta, Porsche, Aston, McLaren, Porsche, Aston, Mercedes, Aston, Porsche, Ginetta, Aston, McLaren, Ginetta, BMW, and then we got the Alpine, and Romeo has returned to the pit, or probably got disconnected, so he's to the pit lane. So guys, get your votes in. Who do you think is going to win this one? Track is now fast. We've got a little bit of temperature on the track as well. It is 12 degrees air and track, so these tires will get nice and warm. Reminder as well, they have no tire blankets, these cars, so the tires are stone cold at the minute, and they're trying to get as much temperature as they possibly can, and they have no pressure, so most are probably running 22, maybe 23 psi. They want to be running at 26 psi, so they've got to spend a lot of the warm-up lap getting those tires in the window that they want to be in. But it's Jamal Clouden and Sky Schundelmeyer, your 2 pro drivers at the front, with Matthew Duffin and Dizzle right behind them. Beasley there as well, Senna also in the mix. What could happen here for our first GT4 race of the season? We now wait for the green and go here. Laguna Seca, race 1. It's underway here, and Jamal Clouden got the jump he wanted, and Sky Schundelmeyer is going to go with him, tucking straight into the slipstream, and then heading down towards Andretti corner, and sounding like a few cars onto the gravel already as they go into turn 1. Jamal Clouden leading the way. Everyone else, there's a hauling off, but everyone else pretty much all good going into the first couple corners. But it's Jamal Clouden who runs a little bit wide. That's going to allow the Aston Martin to get the run. Matthew Duffin is right there as well, as they'll run through the first sector times, and I won't be able to change. But look already, they're all closely packed to one another, and it looks like Senna's had a fantastic start as well, and all closely packed up behind as they run through the first sector. S2 Borobax has gone round, and yeah, Romeo's got going. Oh, there's contact there already, and there's a few cars all over the shot there, and it's the pink Aston Martin of, I believe, Tim Ventink that's gone round. Yes, it is, and he's managed to get going, but Jamal Clouden leading the way, with Sky Schundelmeyer pressuring him straight away, and Matthew Duffin right behind them as well, as Jamal Clouden's gone straight on, and Matthew Duffin goes up the inside of Jamal Clouden, but Sky takes the lead as they go. Matt goes around the outside, and he loses the back end, but grabs it in great style. Then Jamal Clouden goes from first to third, as now Sky Schundelmeyer leads the way. Looks like a bit of chaos further back. That is Dennis Newman stuck at the corkscrew, and everyone else just falling into position, and a few other cars off in the meantime, and a few cars with damage. But it's Sky Schundelmeyer leading the way from Matthew Duffin, from Jamal Clouden, from Senna, from Diz, from Beasley, from Max Mulder, from Gray, from Dennis Newman, I believe it's Kimberly, from Cardoff, from Bell, from Sam. This is a great little scrap here going down towards turn 1, as Sam's going to send it up the inside in the Aston Martin and gets it stopped. Good driving there from Sam, and we'll get the position there. We go back to the front, and we can see there Matt is starting to hold them up as Sky Schundelmeyer tries to extend his gap, and Jamal Clouden pushing the limits of the BMW, and already we've got the top 6 all still within a few seconds of one another. I believe it's actually separated by 2 seconds. Max Mulder trying to get onto the back of this fight, as the rest of everyone else manages to get into position. They're going to have to carry the damage, as Romeo and Dennis Newman are having a scrap. Meanwhile, Sky Schundelmeyer tried to extend his gap from Matthew Duffin, from Jamal Clouden. Senna's just on the edge, as is Dizzle and Beasley. Max starting, when these guys start to fight, he will then get himself back into this fight as they go through the corkscrew. And it sounds like Dizzle's had a moment. Yes, he has. And that's allowed Max Mulder through. And I don't know if him and Beasley's got a bit of damage to the front end. Maybe they've had contact. But Sky going into the final corner, already 3 minutes gone of this race. Matthew Duffin right behind it. Clouden and Senna is all closely packed there. And Max Mulder benefiting from that as he's got Beasley right behind him. Oh, there's a BMW off. That was Bell. He was having a man as Raiden now looking to make a move. We can't find a way through. Matthew Duffin sets the fastest lap of the race now. Matt going into turn 1 right onto the back of Sky Schindelmeyer. And this is the benefit of these cars. Sky won't have their overall grunt to just pull away. And with the slipstream advantage from behind, these guys will creep slowly back onto him. So Sky has to be pitch perfect. As we've got Max Mulder still defending from Beasley. The McLaren of Cardoff has pulled away from Sam and Dizzle. Dizzle has got back into this race. Diz has not had the start that he would have wanted. Great at the beginning, but gone terribly wrong ever since. And Barrett has dropped down the order as well. Romeo's cleared Dennis Newman. Dennis Newman's back to the pits. Possibly got damaged as Beasley's now past Max Mulder, but Max had a great run through that left-hand kink. Max dropped down from Sky. Sky's pulling the gap. Is Max going to send it up into the corkscrew? Nope, he's not far enough alongside, and it's very difficult to pass in the corkscrew. Meanwhile, Jamal Clouden back onto Duffin once again. He's got Senna not too far behind him as well, but it's Sky leading the way and pulling a gap now. But a reminder as well, anything can still happen. These cars are tightly packed to one another. P. Raiden giving Bell a hard time as Tim Venting with major damage trying to come back. Gray in 14th with Esteban Barabex, Holling and Barrett and Romeo completing your order. But Sky trying to build that gap as best he possibly can. Beasley's pulling away from Max Mulder. Dizzle's now starting to come back at Sam once again after his moment in the corkscrew. Tim Venting's onto the back of Bell. But it's a three-way fight here. McCann, Beasley and Mulder work together to get themselves onto the back of this train. That is the question. Duffin here just seems to be holding up Clouden a little bit, but every time Clouden seems to get a little bit closer, the BMW just struggles in the traction zones. It likes to slide a lot, does the Beamer. Fury used to have it sideways most of the time, and as they come up towards the corkscrew now, he's got much better straight line speed as well. The BMW is very, very fast in a straight line. And Duffin's gone deep, as has Clouden. Is that going to open the door for Senna? Senna now comes up the inside of Clouden. Clouden is going to have to defend the inside. It's a much tighter line. Senna can carry the speed round, but Clouden covers him off. Maybe that's the break that Duffin needs. And Senna sends it down the inside and pushes the BMW wide. And Clouden not happy about that one. And again, like I said, Beasley will start to creep onto the back of him. Meanwhile, while these lot have been fighting, Sky Schindelmeyer pulls away. 1.5 seconds is the gap. He's managed to find 2/10, so he's not managed to pull that much away. Meanwhile, Sam's facing the wrong way. Dizzle has continued on, so maybe there was contact between them. As all these guys quite close. Kimberly has got through. Dizzle's gone very wide. And that's going to allow quite a few cars through. There's Bell going through. Look at these gaggle of cars here. We got Bell, Gray, Venting, and Esteban Barabex, Holling, Barrett, all these guys in this scrap, and it's going to be Tim Venting down the inside of Gray. He gets the job done there. Can he get the BMW? Gray's gone very wide and has to slip into position, and Tim Venting looks like he's going on the attack again onto the back of the BMW with Bell. Bell runs wide. And that's going to allow Tim Venting through. Can he clear this group of cars now and pull away? That is he hits the curb though, and that does not help him. That's going to allow Bell to get a fantastic run as they head up towards the left-hander of turn 5. And Bell trying to go around the outside, but that's allowed Diz to come down the inside. Meanwhile, Ian Gray's losing out to Holling in behind. And as they head up towards the horrible kink of turn 6, up towards turn 7 and into the corkscrew. Bell looking left, looking right, can't find a way through. And and there's contact. Diz manages to save it. Beautiful control there from Diz. Contact from the rear, but he saves it. He loses one position, but that could have been a big disaster there. As there's more drama behind, we got Ian Gray looking to make a move on the Ginetta of S2M Borobex, who's looking to make a move on Bell. And this, and there we go. Ian Gray's tapped the back of S2M Borobex. He's gone round. And Tim Venting's managed to disappear, get away from this squabble. Sky Schondermeyer, though, 1.4 ahead of Matthew Duffin, with Senna in third, Clouden in fourth, Beasley in fifth, and slowly catching Clouden and Senna. Max Mulder sitting in sixth, with Cardoff sitting in seventh, Kimberly eighth, Tim Venting up into ninth. Got a lot of work to do to catch the Ginetta. With Holling now up in 10th, but he's run very wide, and that's going to allow Dizzle up into 10th now, and Bell into 11th. So Bell now goes through into 11th, Ian Gray 13th, Barrett 14th, Romeo 15th, S2M Borobex 16th, Sam 17th, Raiden 18th, and Dennis Newman in the pits for a retirement by the looks of things. Now Dizzle pulling away from this gaggle of cars. Holling losing out there to Bell as they head up towards the left-hand kink. Holling looking for any opportunity to get back past the BMW, but can't seem to find a way through at this stage. And they'll work their way through the corkscrew. All these cars quite close to one another. I think Beasley's had a moment because he's dropped back behind Max Mulder. Max Mulder now back up to 5th place. That should be an interesting fight as Jamal Clouden bouncing over the curbs and losing a bit of traction, but Sky and Matt matching one another at the minute. No real changes at the front. But this is where your fight is. Holling, Bell, Gray, Barrett and Romeo. S2M Borobex as well. Sam's not far off the back of this squabble either. Diz has pulled away from him. And no moves looking like it's going to happen going into... They're halfway through this race. And Bell looking for an opportunity to pull away halfway through. Only 10 minutes done. And we've got another race to come here, and it's been absolute drama since Holling in 12th. Gray, Barrett, Romeo, S2M Borobex. And I believe, is that the Mercedes of Barrett dropping behind S2M Borobex? So S2M Borobex made another position. Looks like Duffin has lost time. Oh, S2M Borobex has dropped the rear. Has he hit the wall? Yes, he has. And S2M Borobex's race has gone from bad to worse. And Barrett clips the inside curb. He has a moment now. And now Sam, who was at the back of the pack, works his way back up the order again. Meanwhile, Beasley and Max Mulder still going at it. Beasley looking like he's had a great exit there. As Beasley heads up towards turn number 1. Cardoff there in the McLaren, gone fastest overall. He takes fastest lap away from Matthew Duffin now. An extra point there for him. But Sky controlling the race. Oh, Matt gets on the curb quite a bit there. He doesn't need to be doing that. Senna sits in 3rd. Jamal Clouden in 4th. Max Mulder in 5th. And he's got Beasley right behind him. And as these two are squabbling, the McLaren of Cardoff is catching them. Cardoff well. I'm going to be trying with that name all week, as I believe we've lost a driver here. Not sure who. Oh, and Bell's had a moment. Oh, they're all over the shot there through that sector. Who have we lost? Not S2M Borobex. We have lost a driver. I'm not sure who. We have lost Romeo, I believe. Yeah, I believe we've lost Romeo. I'm just looking on the old stream here. Yeah, Romeo, I believe, has left the session. As Jamal Clouden's come into the pits. Has he underfueled? Jamal Clouden's just thrown away an opportunity for a podium here. So GT4 is unlike GT3, boys. So Sky Schondermeyer still leading from Matthew Duffin in second. Third is Senna. Max Mulder now up into fourth with Beasley in fifth. Cardoff in sixth. Kimberly in seventh. Jamal Clouden has gone green. What has happened to Clouden? I'm not sure. Diz now goes through. Holling will go through, as will Sam. Ian Gray, as Jamal Clouden comes back out on track. You can see they're following the pit exit route. Or Beasley's had a moment. We saw the dust kicked up there, possibly looking to try and make a move on Max Mulder, but couldn't find a way through. Clouden has returned just in front of Ian Gray, and Clouden's run wide. That's going to give Clouden less traction and give Gray the opportunity to slip down the inside, which he does. And Clouden, I'm not sure what happened. Was it fuel? Tyres? It shouldn't be tyres. It must have been fuel. It's got to be fuel. He must have underfueled. Other than Tim Venting, the BSP boys have done a fantastic job. But it's Sky from Matt, from Senna, and then your closest fight is Tim Venting and Dizzle. Actually, no, Sam and Holling, they're close to one another. Clouden's looking to work his way back through the order as Diz looks for an opportunity past Tim Venting, but can't find it through there. As Holling's gone wide, so Sam gets a little bit closer, but looking like he's carrying quite a bit of damage to that car. Clouden's on a recovery drive. He looks to the outside of Ian Gray. He tries to get better traction in the BMW, and he's going around the outside. And you get a good run. The BMW should out-drag the Porsche, and it does so. There we go. The BMW grunt gets past the Porsche with ease, and into 13th place position does go Clouden. Meanwhile, Holling and Sam side by side. Sam just going to give up the corner so he could probably get a better exit and try and find a way past on the Porsche. Can't find a way through at this stage. As keep an eye on Diz in front. He's trying to catch Tim Venting. Matt's brought the gap down ever so slightly again. And this is your closest fight on track. Holling doing well at the minute to hold on to that position. Up into the corkscrew we go for the 10th time here tonight. And Sam trying to find any opportunity through. Meanwhile, Max Mulder has got Beasley right behind him. So Max made a mistake, and Beasley tried to go around the outside of turn 1. He's had a better exit. He's looking to the inside of turn 2. And Max is going to run. No, he stays just for limits, and Cardoff in the background is right there as well. As Dizzle also looking to get on Tim Venting, but it's this fight between Beasley and Max Mulder. And here we go, Beasley right on the rear wing of Max Mulder, heading towards the left-hander, trying to get a good exit, get a good run. Both in the same car, both similar powered, probably slightly different setups. And Beasley, is he going to send it up into the corkscrew? No, he thinks better of it. Probably the final corner is where he's going to be setting it up. But here comes the McLaren. Cardoff coming up behind. Thank you for the very kind message there from the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. Thank you very, very much. We tried to give you the best show, as Beasley's gone very wide and made a mistake there. As Sky crosses the line, the gap is 3 seconds, so Matt has lost time, but he's got a comfortable gap to Senna. A reminder as well, next round when they go to the Hungaroring, if you're leading the championship, you'll be carrying maximum ballast going into the Hungaroring. So Sky, if he wins both races and comes top of the championship, he'll be carrying that weight when he goes to the Hungaroring. Meanwhile, that McLaren just seems to be struggling to stick with the guys in front. Beasley looking down the inside of Max Mulder can't. And Max made a mistake. He's gone wide. The back end stepped out. Beasley's got the run. He's not really lifted either. He's got the inside to the left-hand kink, and he'll get the job done. But Max gets it back underneath. He's going to try and get better traction. He doesn't. And now Max has lost out to Beasley. Cardoff, can he do anything about it now as the two Aston Martins battle it out? They run wide. Great racing from these three. Is Max going to send it to the corkscrew? No, he thinks better of it. We won't see until they get into there. But the McLaren driver stuck behind both of these cars, has got fastest lap, and can't do anything about these two at this minute. But what great action from these three. Beautiful racing. And Beasley holds on, but he's got damage to the front end of that car. Max Mulder right behind, and there goes the McLaren deep into the corner. He'll lose traction there. The back end steps out, and he'll lose momentum to the two in front. Meanwhile, Barrett has been caught by Clouden, who's gone very deep into the corkscrew and made a slight error going into the corkscrew. And Max misses his brakes and goes very deep into turn one. And that's it. Max is able to just stay in front of the McLaren, but Beasley will pull away now. Well, he would hope so. With 1 minute left to go. I'm not sure if Sky, he looks like he's on to do this lap and another one. Any other fights as Cloudon's trying to catch Barrett. 9/10 was the gap. It is now 1.3, so he's lost time there. So as it stands at the minute, Sky Schondermeyer taking the win. Jamal Clouden took pole position. There will be another qualifying session for race 2. And I forgot to end the poll, but yeah, Sky Schondermeyer favourite to win that one. And into the corkscrew. Oh, Max has got contact. Cardoff has hit him. He waited though, and Max retains the position. Where is Kimberly? Kimberly's not really near them. None of these guys are actually anywhere near these front pack. But it's Sky Schondermeyer comes across the line. He's got a gap of 4.5 ahead of this man, Matthew Duffin, who just seems to be struggling towards the end of this race. 5.8, and Senna's caught him. Looks like the Aston Martin a little bit better on its tyres. Surviving towards the end as Beasley in 4th. Max Mulder under pressure once again from the McLaren of Cardoff, who's probably in the fastest car in a straight line. The McLaren's very good in a straight line, and he's going to go around the outside of the Aston Martin. But Max tries to hold it. He runs a little bit wide, and there's no room for the McLaren. And he can't find a way through at the minute. Senna has caught Matthew Duffin and is passing Matthew Duffin. So what has Matt done there? Matt has lost out to the Aston Martin. Is it another driver who's not put enough fuel in? Because these cars don't use a lot of fuel. They're not very fuely, these cars. And all the fights happening now as Sam is under pressure from Barrett, who's got Clouden right behind him. But it's Senna up to the top two now as the two BSP boys leading this race, and Max Mulder and Cardoff still going at it. Tim Venting still got Diz chasing him. Sam has got past Barrett. No, Barrett's trying to pass Sam, and Cloudon's now behind Barrett. But we need to go back to Sky Schondermeyer, who comes into the final corner. The return of GT4s. He was stronger than last time in the Chevy. He's moved to Britain and gone the Aston Martin. Sky Schondermeyer wins the first race at Laguna Seca. A great start for him for his championship campaign. It is then going to be the other black and pink Aston Martin of Senna crossing the line in second place position. Matthew Duffin is going to have to finish in 4th place because Beasley has got into 3rd. Duffin finishes in 4th. Max Mulder in 5th. Cardoff in 6th. Kimberly looking like he's going to finish in 7th place position. Pointing as come across the line in 18th place position. What has happened here? What on earth? Oh, Kimberly's run out of fuel. So Diz is going to cross the line in 6th. Tim Venting 8th. Sam in 9th. Barrett in 10th. Clouden in 11th. Kimberly. Oh, is he going to cross the line? just ahead of Gray, ahead of Raiden, ahead of S2M Borobex. Then it's going to be Holling, and then Bell pointing, and Dennis Newman didn't complete the race. What a dramatic end to that was. But Sky Schondermeyer, your race winner from Senna, from Beasley, from Matthew Duffin. Clearly, fuel needs to be looked into, because some of these guys, I think, were running out of fuel at the end there, as these two are still racing for some particular reason. But that is that. Probably Max doing a little bit of testing while he's out there on the track. But yeah, that is your race one, and it is Sky Schondermeyer, your race winner. We'll be back momentarily. We are heading to a break. These guys have a short break as well, and we'll be back for race two, another 20-minute race and another qualifying session. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in a few seconds.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Did you run out of fuel?
Yeah.
You
well,
fucking idiot.
I did it the checkered. 2 laps of lifting, coasting, and half throttle halfway around. Yeah, man.
Do you
2
know,
laps of lifting, coasting.
do you know the funny thing is?
Go on.
These don't use that much fuel.
No.
You,
know when I said, oh,
you
know when I went, oh,
clouded.
it'll be 25 litres. You know, I went, oh, it'll be 25 litres, yeah. Good job, Phil went, I'll go 30 to make sure. I even went 27 because of the formation lap, yeah.
And the Alpine's only using 1.55
Fucking standing start had been fine. Cunting rolling starts.
You, I believe Cloudin ran out of fuel as well. Kimberly ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
Somebody else, I think, was low on fuel. How have you guys managed to...
I didn't.
I've noted in the storage room for you that Dennis and Centrix retired. Centrix is Romeo.
Yeah, I've noticed they're gone.
Yeah, I noticed.
Well, Dennis is still in the
Potting
same.
is in the Discord, found him. He hasn't signed up. For some reason, the entry list was set to 0, not 1 yet. We copied and pasted everything over from Mike's settings yesterday. So, yeah.
So he's able to race.
No.
Oh.
I've told him to leave, but sign up and do his hot stints if he wants to race.
I saw a lot of GT3 drivers coming in and then leaving.
Which means, Gary, if you're listening, you could have got in.
And if,
Watch,
you
this
do,
is where you see Gary turn in.
and if you do get in, I'm going to penalise you. If you do get in, I will bend you over and spank you. Yeah, helmet.
Oh, and a good race with Tibbs.
You ran out of fuel.
Yeah, what a knob, eh? Hey, what a knob.
There's you slagging me and Mike off. Wanker. Oh. That's going to be done in good time as well.
Who's the other driver that's left? There was. Oh no, there's only 19 one there. Yes, which is just Centrix. Yes, what I mean. Oh, DJ Phil.
What?
DJ Phil has signed up.
Fucking knew
And
he
he's
would.
texted me his car. He's going in the Chevrolet. Tell Dan there is a coming next week to the track. If you're chatting to Dan, DJ Phil's coming next week in the Chevrolet.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Anyone but him.
Go on, Phil.
He's seen my comment, hasn't he? And he's
Go
gone.
on, Phil.
There've been no bad days. Oh.
Good action, Dan.
Fucking brilliant.
Yeah. There's only 12 people, or 10 people we are on the break. What?
Mate,
Back in, everybody.
18, I think was the most. But until they see how fucking great they are.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, I'm gonna go take myself for a quick
Dad,
wee.
I love them too. That's what I'd rather do these than GT3s. Yeah, Tibbs better start eating some McDonald's.
And that's the bit I'm looking forward to. Because now, even if you finish at the back now, Phil, you're
Yeah.
going to be so light compared to the rest of them.
Well, I wasn't at the back that race. I came 14th. So,
Don't matter. You what? I can't remember how we figured it out, Matt. Was it going to be like 5 kilos for the top 10 or something?
Top 8, wasn't it?
Whatever it is, top
40,
8.
35, 40, 30, 40, 35, 25.
For some, it might not do anything, but for most, it will
No.
hamper them a lot.
Yeah, I think Matt's going to ask Tim or the BSP boys to change their trim or something so you can tell the difference.
It's fine. I'm not bothered by them. It's the number I'll go by. Right, I'm going to go back in the other party. Have fun. Matt, make sure you have enough fuel this time. You fucking helmet. What? Um,
Green light. Give it all you can.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport, and we're back underway once again for GT4 action here at SimPlay Motorsport at Laguna Seca for race 2. And once again, it's just going to be a quick qualifying session for these guys this week. And from next week, obviously, this will still be the normal qualifying session. I seem to be having issues with my Discord for some reason. But hopefully it will sort itself out momentarily. Yeah, we're going to get things back underway here. And Sky Schondermeyer taking the first win of the night. And great job from him there. Matt's gone a little bit wide as he exits the left-hander. And I'm not sure who the lead car is. It is Matt, who is going to be the first one to set a lap time, as they're all fighting for track position. And I don't understand why they do this when they can all wait and wait for the gap. But as I forgot while I was at it to get the tables up. But that was fantastic race 1. I fully enjoyed that one. It was great to see from the guys, and that's the classic GT4s for you. They're brilliant to watch, and I look forward to this race. Obviously, Sky Schondermeyer leads the way from Senna, from Richard Beasley, from Matthew Duffman, from Max Mulder, from Cardoff to Dizzle, Tim Venting, Sam Barrett, Jamal Clouden, Ian Gray, Phil Radin, S2M Burrobex, Holling, Darren Bell, and still missing a few of them. Dennis Newman didn't score, nor did Romeo, as they didn't complete the race, as we're still waiting for a gaggle of other cars to make their appearance. But nonetheless, we've got a few here tonight, and already they've put on some fantastic action here. And yeah, that was great to watch. As I pretty much running this event on my own. Matt does the server, but pretty much everything else and the tables Matt does as well. So just be with me 2 seconds. So there's a little poll there for you guys as we get qualifying underway. It is going to be Matt and Beasley all fighting for track position here for the head of the qualifying session. Just a reminder as well, guys, how this will work next week at the Hungaroring. I believe the top 8 will be splitting the ballast down by every 5 kilos. So whoever you lead in the championship, you will gain 5 kilos. But you'll gain 40 kilos as the start. So if we were to run it after this event, Sky Schondermeyer would be carrying 40 kilos, Senna would be carrying 35, so on and so forth, and it would drop down the order like that. So basically anyone below 8th place will be running no ballast. we will call it success ballast. As we then go into the next race at the Hungaroring, we'll be running a reverse grid as well on the championship standings. So Sky would have been starting at the back of the pack and then working his way to the front while carrying 40 kilos worth of ballast. It is awesome way of working the championship. We've watched it in British touring cars. If you're a British touring car fan, they are brilliant how the way the ballast works, and it equals out the drivers and the competitiveness of each car, and we've got it here. And the McLaren of Cardiff sets the pace with Beasley in second, Jamal Cloud in third, Diz has gone fourth, Max Mulder fifth, Sam sixth, Holling in seventh, Newman in eighth, Gray ninth, and Sky Shonamayo, your race winner, down in 10th at the minute. Most of these guys will take the first lap to get the tyres up to temperature and pressure. Reminder, these cars don't have tyre blankets. Your GT3s will have tyre blankets, and they go straight out on track with no worry about temperature. They're a nice warmer condition, so they're able to be pushed hard straight away, while these have none whatsoever. So as these guys go out, they'll be stone cold with no temperature, no nothing, as Barrett goes up into 7th place. There's a whole gaggle of cars together. I believe Duffin was a part of that, and here he is into the final corner. And Beasley now goes fastest in the Aston. Matt will go into stays in 15th, as he's not able to put a lap time on the board yet. And Senna's another one waiting for as Diz crosses the line. Will Diz improve? No. But will Senna put a lap time on? No. So I believe Tim Ventink. Kimberly crosses the line, no improvement. Max Mulder now goes into P2, so he's got his race underneath him now and is looking to improve his way up. As now Tim Venting comes to the line and goes 9th. So just trying to find those little bits of improvements in the car and trying to... There's very little that these guys can actually do to these cars. There's very little setups and changes they do. They've barely got any wing. Most of them... for example, you can't actually change the dampers. I believe one of the cars, there's no damper adjustments allowed at all. So, you know, you're going to have to go with it. I know the Chevy runs very high. That's what I learned from it. The ride height is 120 mil off the ground, while a GT3 is about 60. So it's like double in height. That's why it's allowed to abuse the curves. The Maserati is another car that I've tried and tested. No traction control and no ABS at all. So I had a quick spin around in the Maserati again to give it a quick go, and you flat spot tyres so easily here. Duffin is now finally going to get a lap time on the board, but Beasley crosses to the line, doesn't improve, and Cardoff goes in P3. Duffin goes into P5. Look how close the top three are already. Scott Schondermeyer on a lap, Matthew Duffin on a lap now. Jamal Clouden goes into 6th. Diz, no improvement. Anyone else coming to the line? There's a few, but not on a valid lap. It is Dennis Newman, the 13, next on a lap. What is he going to do in 12th? No improvement. Then we've got the 96 of Sam. And he now goes up into 7th place. And every time these guys will be racing, they'll be learning about these cars and how they handle. The other problem they're going to have is Holling crosses the line. When we reset the servers to the GT3's continue testing for the week, the GT4s will still not have the ballast put on, so they'll be testing without the ballast. When it comes to race day, the practice session gets reset. We will obviously make sure the session is done correctly and everything is in place, but they will be going into the session for the first time with their weight on board. So that hour is going to be very important to people who have got ballast on board. They're going to spend a lot of the time learning and adapting as Cardoff there bails on his lap and gets out of the way as Matthew Duffin now comes out of the final corner, currently 5th overall, coming to the line and goes fastest with a 1:30.3 there. Matt now setting the pace. What can everyone else do as no one else really on a flyer at the back as Senna goes into P9. Diz now goes up to P5. Once again, top 9 separated by 9/10. I believe Tim Ventink is on a lap time, the 13. That's Dennis Newman. He goes up to 11th. Here comes Tim Ventink now. He now goes up to 7th. times are improving. 96. Sam gets within 2/10 as well. I love GT4s. I absolutely love them. They're brilliant. We haven't really done anything crazy with the settings or anything like that. And Kimberly, they're going sideways. We've literally just said, boys, pick a car. We'll introduce the weight and everything next week. And already they're putting on a fantastic show. But it is then Barrett, the next one on a lap time. Into the final corner he comes. Try and get a good exit, a good run out of the final corner. And to some of these guys as well, this would be great practice for him to know the circuit, know the conditions for the GT3s, as Barrett does not improve. We're then looking at the 70 of Cardoff coming to the line next. Matthew Duffin still setting the pace at the minute. We've still got 5.5 minutes left to go. So these guys will still be able to get out and do a lap time. To the line, no improvement. A lot of cars now coming to the line. The 28 of Senna, he improves a little bit and goes to 9th. We got then the number 5 of Kimberly finally getting a lap time on the board as Dennis Newman loses the rear behind. And Kimberly crosses the line and goes 15th. S2M Borobeck still to get a lap time on the board as Dennis Newman does not improve. We then look to at the number 3 of Halling. And a Porsche driver looking to extend up the grid a little bit more. And he's currently 13th. Where is this going to put him? Nowhere competitive enough. And we go back to Barrett once again. And guys, like I said, this is a fantastic series. I'm going to be hyping these up for the rest of the season. And obviously, with the way we've run these, the way we're going to be running it, is the idea is to test these cars, not just for the GT4s, but we're looking at possibly running a ballast system for when it comes to the GT3s for next season. So if you're winning in a championship, you might be the one carrying 40 kilos next time out. As Barrett crosses the line and no improvement, we've got a few invalid lap times coming our way, but it's the 75 is the next car on a valid lap, followed by the 5 of Kimberly. So this is really a testing ground, not just for these cars, but also for our GT3s, and seeing how this all pans out. If it all works out brilliantly and it works for the GT4s, the GT3s will probably be introducing ballast next season and BOP. So, well, we're not sure yet. We might introduce the BOP first or ballast. It's really depending on how well this pans out. Kimberly crosses the line 14th, and no real improvements I'm seeing at the minute. The 55, that is Matt coming to the line. 30.3, has he extended? No, he has not. So he'll go again. Come back to the Porsche driver of Holling. Guys, please, if you can, first things first, spread the stream around. Let's get it around to as many people as you possibly can. Send it to your friends, family, dogs, pigeons, you know, auntie, uncles, you name it. Let's get this stream around. Let's get SimPlay Motorsport out there and give these guys a good show, because these guys are putting on a fantastic show here. There's a little bit of fun for them, and it is great to watch these guys pushing hard at Laguna Seca. And while you're at it, hit that like button. Let's get as many likes as we possibly can on the stream. Helps us out massively here at SimPlay Motorsport. And also subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're still a part of all the great racing here. Let's just put it this way, these guys deserve a like, because the top 11 all the way down to Cloudin are separated by 6/10. 6/10. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing. As we got another car crossing the line, no improvement. All cars are on invalid lap times at the minute. It is Sky Schundelmeyer that is on a valid lap. And hit the bell as well. Don't forget to hit that little bell in the corner as well. So when we are live, your YouTube will give you a notification to say that SimPlay Motorsport are live and streaming for you guys, as we try and give you as much entertainment as we possibly can. If you do want to join in on the GT4 action, then head over to our Discord page. Should be in the description below. Sign up to the championship, and also you'll have to do a hot stint, obviously in a GT3, so we can put you, if you do choose at some point to go into the GT3s, where we can put you in regard to your pace. As Sky Schundelmeyer crosses the line now, and he improves and goes into 5th place. Next car on a lap is the 36 of Clouden. So yeah, if you do want to be a part of the action here, head over to the Discord page, do your hot stints. If you're not done the hot stints, you will not be racing full stop, and they have to be 6 valid laps, one after the other. It can't be 3 valid laps, an invalid lap, and another 3 invalid laps. It has to be 6 on the bounce, perfect every lap. And like I said, we'll get you into the correct category, and we'll get you racing in GT4s, GT3s, and even the Endurance Championship as well, which we had in a fantastic event. We did have issues, sadly, which comes at events like this. You do have little problems and niggles from time to time, and we did have some problems in the race, but nonetheless, we got it fixed, and we got racing once again as the 95 of Max Mulder now goes fastest of them all. He goes to the top with a 1:30.2, and Max now getting into the groove of this car as we've got a few more cars coming to the line. I'm trying to see them as quickly as I can. It's Kimberly to the line, and no improvement is then Ian Gray next on a lap, and all these guys are on their last and final laps here. I didn't know Max joined my race team. Lol. Has he? Oh, yes. Yeah, we need to look into that, because obviously that's a mistake. We don't know why there shouldn't be teams coming up on the top, so don't worry, Nova. We'll address that for next time out. Apologies, there shouldn't be teams, but a lot of drivers are running similar colours, similar liveries. But at the minute, the top 11 separated by 8 tenths, less than a second, which is fantastic to see. Ian Gray out of the final corner, and that's gone and into the pit lane. That was an abrupt stop. Jamal Clouden is on a lap. He was on pole position last time out. Not looking so good this time round as he comes into the final sector now. Final corner, get good traction, get a good exit. Heading towards the line now. And Jamal Clouden, where's it going to put him? Fastest overall, Jamal Clouden takes pole position. Great lap from him there, and I believe Max Mulder is still on a lap. He's more than welcome to. If he's at the top, then yeah, and these two are towing each other as Max Mulder goes into second, and that was Tim Venting, who got himself up into P4 in the end. So a good lap time from him. Romeo's not in here, nor are the others. So it's Jamal Clouden once again taking another pole position. Couldn't even set a valid lap, says Gray. You did, but wasn't very good, let's put it that way. But a reminder as well, like I said, down to Senna, 6 tenths down to 11th place. That's how great these GT4s are, and we have plenty of space and room for them. So if you do like this event, and like I said, it's only 2 20-minute races. Hopefully, we should be done by, is it like, 20 past 9 now? So we should be done by 9:45. So it doesn't take too much of your time, and they don't take a lot of time setting up. They're very basic and very simple, and the rules are very simple as well. So it's also great to just learn and race in small, competitive little cars. And as I've said in the past, I've got quite a bit of experience in these cars, and if anyone's struggling or need any assistance and want some tips on how to drive these cars, they're more than welcome to message me in the Discord, and I will try and help them out as best as I possibly can. BMW and Ford, don't ask me, not a clue about them. They're too twitchy for me. But most of them I've given a go. But yeah, I said a variety of cars of choices. We haven't actually seen them all either, so be nice to see a little bit more variety. We're missing the Audi, the Maserati, the Chevrolet. I believe we're also missing... What else are we missing? I'm thinking of another big car that we're probably missing. I can't think off the top of my head. Oh, the KTM Crossbow. That's another one we're missing. And I think that is most of them, yeah. That's most of the cars. But we're about to get underway for the final race tonight. As I said, quick racing, short, snappy races, nothing crazy. But next week is where it all hots up. Let's see how the championship fares. This Sky Schondermeyer was on the front row. He's now mid-pack and is all completely changed. Tracy in the chat saying, let's go. Ian Gray saying, couldn't even get about that time, even though he did. And Nova saying that he's more than welcome to join his team of... Quadrum Apex Motorsport. I can't even read that, it's so small. But we'll get that changed and sorted for next week for sure. But like I said, guys, if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. And also, if you do want to be a part of the action, please head over to the Discord page and get yourself signed up. Not quite green yet. We'll be going green very shortly. But if you do as well, want to head over to our TikTok page and our Instagram as well. Spread the stream around, spread our social media around. And if it isn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to run this event. We wouldn't be able to put these racing on. We were gutted we couldn't do GT2s. We just did not get the sign-ups. I am over the moon we could do GT4s. So guys, please, when we run these events, we want to hear from you guys what you want from the channel, what you want to be doing, what you want to do racing, and we will try our very best to give exactly everything we could possibly give to you. Also as well, we are looking for people to give a bit more help towards the channel. We are growing quite rapidly, we are building quite quickly, and we do need people to help out in the Discord and in the community a little bit more if they're willing to. Obviously it's voluntary, we're not going to be paid for it. Think of it as like a club of some sort, and yeah, looking for stewards, commentators, and just overall help with running the Discord and the channel. Really, commentators are a massive want, and also so are stewarding. We obviously aim to have drivers that aren't in the race event steward each event, and obviously non-biased as well. So in this case, the GT4s are going to be stewarded by myself, and I believe possibly Peaceful Explosion as well. But obviously, we can't do everything. We do need more stewarding, and if there is people out there willing to do it and take their time out to see everyone's crashes, which is sometimes quite amusing, then please head over to the job application on the Discord, and the same with the commentating and just general help of the channel. And I just want to also say thank you to everybody who's watching. The 19 people currently watching, hit that like button. Like I said, it always helps us out here. And yeah, let's go racing for the second time for the GT4s. BMW and Aston at the front once again. But instead of Sky Schneidermeyer, it is Max Mulder and it's Jamal Clouden, front row here for the second race of Laguna Seca. What is going to happen here as we're about to go green here at Laguna Seca for the second time? And we are go here at Laguna. GT4 action back once again as we head down toward turn number 1. Jamal Clouden leads the way as we look further back. We look at Cardoff going into turn 1 as we can see Sky Schneidermeyer braking very late there in the Aston. There's a little bit of touching at the back of the pack as we all navigate turn 1, all relatively clean as we go through there. A few bouncing over the curbs, but we all managed to negotiate the first couple of corners and get through into the middle sector. We see there Sky attacking already in the background. He's got a bit of momentum behind him and looking to push his way through the order as quickly as he can. And you can see there that is Richard Beasley already having to defend from the McLaren and the Aston Martin behind him. And it's 4 wide. Diz going around the outside of 2 Aston Martins, but he can't get the job done. And it's Sam who holds on to the position ahead of Senna, ahead of Diz, and Diz drops down the order. Meanwhile, Sky Schneidermeyer has cleared Cardoff already, but it's Clouden from Max Mulder, from Matthew Duffin, from Tim Venting, from Beasley, from Schneidermeyer, Cardoff, Sam, Senna, Diz, Barrett, Kimberley. There goes Kimberley. Newman, Holling, Gray, and Raiden in 16th. Bell is in 17th, and S2M Borough Bex has dropped down the order as well, so possibly contact between them. But it's Clouden leading lap 1 and coming out of the final corner. And he's made a mistake, he's run wide, and now it's Max Mulder down the inside and through up into the lead. And now Matthew Duffin's on the attack in the Ginetta. Clouden going to the, oh no, but that BMW straight line advantage out drags the Ginetta easily, and Clouden's going to miss his brakes and go a little bit wide, but Max Mulder holding on to lead, but Matthew Duffin down the inside with the better grip from the Ginetta. Going to be on the outside of turn 2 now as Clouden holds the apex. So to slight contact, Clouden's gone wide. Now Matt has lost the position to Tim Venting. No, he's holding it strong on the outside, but Matt goes wide. And once again, it's an Aston Martin 1, 2, and 3, but it's possibly 4 now as well, because Sky Schneidermeyer is there. And Cardoff goes in between them. And what dramatic racing here. Sam is now putting Senna under pressure. Sam's gone wide, and Sam's dropped it on his own. Has he avoided the wall? Yes, he has, but he doesn't want to come onto the track, and he doesn't do so. Brilliant stuff there from Sam, holding it off. But it is Max Mulder from Tim Venting. Tim's gone very wide. Straight line, pretty much the the corkscrew that gets it back in place as Sky Shundelmeyer has lost the position to Beasley, and Beasley's gone wide. Sky's gone wide. Now Cardoff's down the inside. Jamal Cloudon's gone past Sky Shundelmeyer. Max had his own moment, and once again the top 7, maybe 8, are all together. Now the McLaren's gone off, and now Max and Tim are basically drafting one another and heading towards turn number 1 is Max from Tim, Beasley in third. Holing was the only one who set a valid lap time, I think, and gone fastest. Nope, now Kimberly's gone fastest. So lap times improvement here and there, but Max Mulder leading the way from Tim Ventink, from Beasley, from Duffin, from Cardoff, from Sky Shundelmeyer. Cloudin in 7th. Diz is just off the group of this lot with Senna behind him. Barrett in 10th. Then it's Holling. Then it's Gray. Then it's Raiden. Kimberly. Sam has dropped down after his spin with S2M Burbex with him, just behind him. Bell in 17th place position, and then Dennis Newman bringing up the rear. But it's the top gaggle of cars: Max, Tim, Beasley, Duffin, Cardoff, Shundelmeyer, and Dizzle. Cloudon, sorry, going at it, but Cloudon seems to have lost a little bit of pressure. I'm trying to breathe, but there's so much action, and there's Beasley sending it on Tim Ventink. And now Matt goes around the outside of Tim Ventink to have the inside for then the next corner. So Tim Ventink goes from 2nd, drops to 4th, possibly 5th, and Sky Shundelmeyer's in the middle of all this as well, while Max Mulder disappears. Tim Ventink's gone wide. Cloudon's back onto the fight, and here comes Max Mulder defending that position, and now Sky gets past the McLaren. I need a glass of water. Cars looking left, right, all over the shot. The McLaren can't find a way through, nearly into the back of the Aston of Tim Ventink. Tim Ventink's gone wide, and the McLaren understeers into him and pushed him on. Now Jamal Cloudon goes through. Duffin's gone round. Duffin's in the wall. Beasley is holding on to 2nd. So what's their contact between them? That is the question. Diz has gone wide as Matthew Duffin returns back on track. But Max Mulder disappearing with all this going on. So Beasley from Sky Shundelmeyer, Cardoff, Cloudon, Tim Ventink. And now we see who's that? Senna is fighting with Diz. Matthew Duffin is just ahead of this gaggle of cars as well. So can Matt get himself back onto the leading pack as Max Mulder's had a moment, because now Beasley's back onto him. We've had multiple different leaders already. And each, I'm glad we're not offering the point for leading a lap, because I wouldn't be able to keep track of who's led a lap. But Max Mulder's leading the way, but he's got 2 Aston Martins right behind him and a McLaren. And then Jamal Cloudon, who dropped to the back of this pack, is now in the middle of it once again. And Beasley looking for an opportunity. What else is going on? We got this squabble. Barrett's gone down the inside of Senna and has messed up right royally. Holling's now going past with Gray just behind him. Raiden's got his own fight with Kimberly behind. Dennis Newman's retired again. As I go back to the leaders, it is Max Mulder, and Beasley's going to send it on the inside of turn 2. That's optimistic. Max gone wide. Bad exit. Run for Beasley. He's going to be on the outside of then turn 3. Clips the dirt. And look at the McLaren. It's had a great run. Cardoff looking to attack, and that BMW, keep an eye on that for later on in the long straights, as they've all gone wide. Sky sent it on Beasley. Beasley's dropped back, and Max once again pulls away. But it's now the McLaren up the inside of Sky Shundelmeyer. But he's gone wide. Sky gets the position back from Cardoff. Then Beasley back up the inside again. Is he quite alongside? No, not quite, and that is Tim Ventink back on them as past Cloudon. Matthew Duffin is catching onto the back of him, so we're still 12.5 minutes to go. Anything can still happen here, and it definitely can happen. And Sky Shundelmeyer from 7th on the grid is back up to 2nd. He's now catching his good friend Max Mulder. My voice is going to go by the end of this. Clouden looking up the inside of Beasley, but he's got Venting behind him, and Venting's been done by Duffin. He undercuts him, but the Aston Martin should have the straight line advantage. The Ginetta on the inside. Matthew Duffin's got to be braver on the brakes. He's going to try and do so as Tim Venting gives him the racing room. Down the inside does Matt go. And through he goes. Back up into sixth place position. Max Mulder keeping an even gap to Sky Schundermeyer. What else is happening on up and down the grid? Kimberly has got past Raiden. Sam and Esteban Borobex just trying to get back on there. Bell, not the best race too for him. And now, because they've all been holding each other up, Duffin, Tim Venting, Dizzle is now catching back up to the leaders. So is Senna. Senna's got fastest lap. And Max is the cork in the bottle here. And imagine this with slower drivers at the front, the faster ones with weight. They can't really use the pace. Oh, this is going to be fantastic. I'm going to enjoy this season. So Max is extending the gap ever so slightly, but Sky and Cardoff is trying to go with him. Beasley's just lost a little bit of time. Now Duffin and Clouden go for round 2 in their squabble. Diz is catching Tim Venting slowly. Tim's got a bit of damage to the front end of his Aston. Matt's going for a late dive into the final corner. That was a bit optimistic and probably hampered his exit more than anything. But Clouden didn't have the best exit either. But you see the BMW will just pull away in the straights. So you're going to have to outsmart Clouden in a straight line there. But Max Mulder has gone a little bit deep in turn 1 again, but manages to bring it back as Beasley has a big slide. But Clouden's having his own moment, which Duffin goes up the in. Oh, they make contact! Bit of gravel touch there from Clouden. Understeers wide and goes into Matt, and Matt goes through. That straight line advantage in the BMW, monstrous compared to the Ginetta. And Tim Venting's gone wide. Diz will get closer. And once again, your gaggle of cars are building up again. Senna's just on the back of Diz, and it's all back to the top 9. We're only halfway through this race. Max Mulder still leading though. Sky has pulled away as Cardoff has gone off and returned to pits. That would be a retirement. Beasley's gone slow. Duffin and Clouden have gone through. Sky's had a moment through the corkscrew. Beasley has got the fastest lap now as well. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. And I need a moment for my throat just to catch up. I've been having a sore throat this week as well, so quick swig of water as Max leads the way ahead of Sky, ahead of Duffin and Clouden. That's a close fight. Beasley drops down the order. Tim Venting is in 6th, Diz in 7th, 8th is Senna, 9th is Barrett, Holling in 10th. So your top 10 near enough altogether now. But Max is starting to extend the gap. He's starting to get back into a rhythm. Now all the fights have calmed down after halfway through this race. I'm so looking forward to doing some chatting to some of the drivers, hopefully. These are the other pack 2, and Cardoff has left the session. Yeah, Cardoff is gone, so that's going to be a retirement. No points scored there for him. Sky comes up behind Max. Matt has pulled away from Clouden. Now Beasley is pushing against him, and Senna and Diz are going at it. Clouden's bounced across the corkscrew there. I don't know how I'm keeping up either, Tracy. This has been chaos, but it's been great fun to watch. Max is still leading from Sky, from Duffin, who's actually coming back at Sky now. Clouden is dropped behind Beasley, who's then got Diz back on him. Senna's there, Tim Venting's there. Barrett is in 9th, Holling in 10th. And your top 10 are pretty close together once again. Kimberly's gone into the pits with major damage to the front end of that car. We'll see if he returns back out on track. Oh, Duffin's got very wide in turn 1. That's going to compromise, and he'll get a good exit. but he'll compromise his exit later on as Beasley is trying to, I just contradicted myself, he'll get a better exit but contradict his overall pace around the corner. I think this is the calmest this race has been. There's no real side-by-side action. The closest fight is or was Beasley and Clouden. Sounds like somebody was in the dirt. No. Hopefully Kimberly will come back out. Dennis Newman will have 2 retirements and no points scored. But Max Mulder into the corkscrew. Head of Sky. Matt's lost a little bit of time. Obviously turn 1 didn't help. Beasley's back on him once again. Diz is P5. Clouden P6. Senna now looking to the inside of Clouden, and Clouden just seems to be struggling in a straight in the corners. Oh, Senna and Clouden come together. And Senna goes wide. Now Tim Venting is looking to make a move on Clouden. Clouden gets up the inside of oh, Senna, come on man, what was that? Clouden is going to get going again, possibly damage to the front end of that car, but Senna will probably get a ticket in for that one. Beasley's caught Duffin once again. As Ron Bennett in the chat says, Sky, you can do it from Grandpa. So Sky has got some supporters here tonight. Tracy and Grandpa in the chat. And American Soil, he's already had a race win. And he's looking to possibly attack his good friend Max Mulder for another race win. But reminder as well, if he is at the top of the points table, he'll be carrying a maximum ballast going into Hungaroring. And I honestly cannot wait to see how this will affect the cars. It's going to be fascinating to watch. Most of the fights have eased off, except for this fight between Senna and Tim. Senna goes a little bit too much onto the curb. Tim not close enough to capitalise. Sky's had another moment through the corkscrew. The corkscrew seems to be the cork in the bottle for most of these guys, is where they seem to be struggling the most. As Diz is just dropped off the pace from the leaders. It's got Senna and Tim behind. Tim get really close to the curb and dirt there. And up into the final corner we go. Diz in the Porsche, just trying to stay ahead of the Aston Martin. Dennis Newman has left. And again, will not score any points for both races, as Beasley looked to the inside of Duffin there, but can't quite get the job done. But Max Mulder still leading from Sky. Duffin under immense pressure from Beasley behind. Then we got Diz holding off Senna, Tim, and Barrett's not too far behind. Anything happens between these guys, he'll be back in the action. Clouden in 9th, Holling in 10th, Sam and S2M Burbex 11th and 12th, Gray 13th, Raiden 14th, and Bell in 15th place position. Your point scorers at this rate. And with less than 4 minutes to go, it is still Max holding a strong lead, and Sky goes deep once again into the corkscrew. Max going even deeper, setting off sparks off the back of the Ginetta. There's Tim Venting has finally... Where's Senna's dropped it. Senna's dropped down the order. Dizzle's back to the pits. And we got another retirement there by the looks of things. There's going to be quite a few tickets here, and I'm going to be quite busy by the looks of things. But Max Mulder still leading the way from Sky. Beasley can't find a way past. Oh man, he's touched the gravel, which is going to possibly get him very loose into the corner. Senna's coming to the pits. He's obviously got major damage. Clouden's worked his way back up because of the incidences that have been going on. Excuse me. Clouden at the minute can't seem to find a way through on Barrett, and he's gone very wide all over the curb there. Beasley's lost a little bit of time to Matt there, so now Tim Ventink is holding up Barrett and Clouden. They go in. Tim's gone very wide, I think. No, he's managed to keep it together. And Tim Ventink's gone deep into the corkscrew, but the Mercedes driver Barrett makes a slight mistake. Clouden is right on the back of him as well. Clouden looking left, looking right, can't find a way through. Sky's brought the gap down, as has Matt as well. With a minute and a half to go, the gap is closed. Tim Ventink's gone wide, but Clouden looking to attack into the final corner. Possibly got better straight line than the cars in front, so he probably is going to wait to get a good exit, which he has a decent exit. Is he going to try and send it up into turn one? Look at the BMW pull the Mercedes in. BMW so strong in a straight line. Down the inside, Barrett is going to try and brake later. He makes the apex as well, and has stayed in front of the BMW. Meanwhile, Max Mulder 1.5 ahead of Sky Schundermeyer. Matt has brought the gap down to less than 2 seconds as well, so if Max makes a mistake, he's still under some threat from these guys behind. So, probably coming to the last lap here. Oh, Matt's had a moment on his own, all on his own, and has lost momentum to Sky. Oh, as Clouden tries to send it in the corkscrew, gets it horribly wrong, and gets back onto the corkscrew, and Holling is going to go down the inside and get the job done. Max Mulder coming down the main straight. Will have to start the final lap now, and he's got Sky Schundermeyer breathing down his neck. The homeboy, the young American, hunting down the Dutchman. On American soil, is Sky going to take 2 for 2? Is that going to help him lead towards a great week's worth of racing here? Reminder as well, Pro-Ams are tomorrow night. Myself and Matthew Duffin bringing the action for the Pro-Ams as we go back to our normal program. But these have been fantastic to watch, and it has been close racing from start to end, as Clouden has got past Holling again, and Barrett's back on the attack of Tim Ventink. But it is a fight for the lead of the race. These obviously go to the driver's stats, and Sky gets a win. Will Max Mulder hang in there? Sky, 4/10. They're not teammates here. They can race hard. They'll want the win. Both of them do. And Sky bringing up some sparks across the line there. Senna's in the pits, and I think he's done pretty much 75% of the race, so he will score points. Diz has left. No, he's in the pit, so we'll see if they've done most of the race. But Max Mulder into the final corner. As long as he gets a good exit, this should be his. And it is. Max Mulder wins race 2, but Sky Schundermeyer finished in second place. A close finish between the two. Matthew Duffin finishes on the podium in P3. Beasley will cross home in P4. Tim Ventink and Barrett are going at it still. Tim Ventink is going to hang in there for P5, and he will cross the line in P5 position. Barrett just going to hang in there ahead of Clouden in P6 and 7. Holling in P8. Sam will finish in P9. Across the line he comes. S2M Borobex is going to finish in 10th place position. And then it's going to be Ian Gray in 11th, Raiden in 12th, Bell in 13th. Senna's in the pits, as is Diz. But it is Max Mulder with the race 2 win. But Sky Schundermeyer, the man who has been the one to beat tonight. And there's been all sorts of drama, all sorts of action here tonight. It's been fantastic to watch. If we're probably not going to hear from Sky, because he doesn't tend to do interviews anyway. But yeah, I think we should be able to get Max Mulder in. I'm just going to do the guys from this race. We'll figure out. I'll need to go through Matt how to do it on the Discord next time I'm in the chat, but it probably won't work from my end. But we'll stick with this way for the meantime. I'll invite Max Mulder into the party. But a fantastic night's worth of racing. Brilliant to watch. Absolutely brilliant. I haven't even had time to put driver of the day. I don't think GT4s are for me. I do think you've picked probably one of the difficult cars to go, Gray. But either way, yeah, that's the fun of GT4s. Driver of the day. We'll quickly get that. So yeah, we'll have a quick chat with Matthew Duffin if he is there. Matt, can we hear you?
Yep, I'm just currently doing this a second, Daniel. 1 minute.
I'm currently doing the poll as well. So while we're both busy, I'll speak to this man, your race winner for race 2. Max, fantastic night race in there. These GT4 seems to be a great barrel of fun, a very tight racing. Race 1. How did you find race 1? Was it just kind of learning the Aston as you literally just jumped in and got straight into qualifying?
Yeah, it was getting a feeling with the car. Never driven, maybe a few laps in this car. So yeah, it was getting a feeling with the car. So. Yeah.
Tell me, how was that? Was that great fun? Was the GT4s as fun as you thought they were going to be, or a lot harder than you thought? What was the overall opinion on these cars?
Well, I was very scary in this car because every time you brake, you think, "Oh, I'm not going to make the corner." So for me, it was very hard to nail a lap. So yeah.
Obviously, that's the challenge. These cars very similar in all that aspects. A lot of the cars are very different in many ways. They're never really the easiest things to drive. Obviously, this gives you a good little warm up heading up into the week. Obviously, Laguna is the week that we're going to be racing at. Obviously, a little bit of practice for yourself. Going into Pro-Am tomorrow night, how are you feeling in general? Have you done any testing in the McLaren, and do you genuinely like this circuit?
It's not my favorite here, because if you make one mistake, you lose a lot of time, so that's very difficult. But I think I will do some laps tomorrow with McLaren and see how it goes.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the race. We're very close to Sky there at the end, and I bet you had your heart in your mouth just at the end there, because he was looking very quick towards the end, wasn't he?
Yeah, he looked very quick.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And we'll see you tomorrow night. And we head over to Matthew Duffin, and who would have been a 2-podium finisher. But, Matt, what happened race 1?
Messed it up.
Messed it up how?
Yeah. What a silly sausage.
Easy to do, isn't it?
I thought I went to lap earlier. Stupid rolling starts. Bring back standing ones.
Obviously, due to the way the whole season's panned out and the lack of commentators, and again, like I said to you guys in the chat, if you do want to be a part of the team, then please head over to the job application, or if you've got experience in commentating, either message me or Matt personally or whatever. But obviously, with the way things are, obviously it's very busy, a lot going on, and you had to pull out of GT3s, but GT4s came along, and I nicely enough allowed you to race these cars. And how was that for you? How's the Ginetta?
Day was great fun. I have to echo what Max said. They are hard to stop. They don't have as sharper brakes as a GT3, but I enjoyed that often. I think I ended up being pushed off by Richard out of turn 2, and it dropped to like 3 seconds behind, 5 seconds behind in 7th. And then I had great fun. Just, you saw the battles in front, thought, I want to be a part of that. And within a lap and a half, I was a part of it. It was like, yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it was awesome for me to watch. I've lost my voice. I've not been feeling great anyway, so the voice is gone. But yeah, I mean, obviously for you, this is now your championship. You will not be racing the GT3. Yeah. So obviously heading now to Hungaroring will be your next race. I believe you've probably updated the tables as well.
Tables are done, yeah.
So you're going to be starting... you're going to be finishing in 4th in the championship, and from what I can figure out, that's going to be 25 kilos worth of ballast you'll be carrying into Hungaroring. Just talk us about, obviously I know me and you and Mike talk about the championship and what we can do to really make it interesting, and how are you going to feel about carrying 25 kilos extra? You've carried ballast before in the BMW, so you know what it's like, but how is it going to feel with this? How do you think it's
I'm
going
not
to
quite
feel?
sure how it's going to feel with this. I think it's going to feel very different, obviously, to the BMW M4. A lot less power as it is. It's going to be a strange one, obviously. And the worst thing is we can't test with the ballast.
No.
So for the practice lobby, it's set up mainly for the GT3s, which is obviously our predominant series. We can't then, with these drivers like Max and Tibbs and Tim, who enter in both, can't put 20 kilograms on them, because it will give them 20 kilograms in their McLaren for the practice lobby. So really we're stepping into the unknown come next Monday. We get an hour's practice and that's all we get. So unknown, going to be an interesting one to see what we can do. I think that's going to make it an interesting factor. Obviously, being a touring car fan, we know the ballast system from back in the day. It's just an interesting thing I think we've got to play with. I'm looking forward to it. 25 kilos is going to be interesting. With the reverse grid as well for race one, obviously we don't just carry it for the one race, we carry it for the entire night. So I think the entire week. I think it's going to be interesting. Reverse grid race one, I think is going to be an absolute belter to watch. And I think, Dan, we spoke about GT4 season 1 on PS4 when you raced it. You probably spoke about it tonight. These are so fun. Anybody can win. They're so packed. I think with the reverse grid and ballast, they're going to be even better to watch.
They are indeed, and like I said to the guys in the chat, make sure you're here on a Tuesday night, because these are going to get more and more interesting each week. And also, we've got real life weather involved as well. So if the rain does come, that's another factor that these guys are going to have to learn and adjust to. But nonetheless, Matt, congratulations on third place tonight. And sadly, you didn't get driver of the day in the votes. That has gone to Sky Schundelmeyer. And I'm not surprised either. Fantastic job from himself this evening at home soil. But he will be carrying 40 kilos worth of ballast as he goes to Hungaroring. How is he going to handle racing that? And like I said, each driver will then be going down by 5 kilos. I believe it's the top 8 will be carrying that ballast. So anything can happen, and we could see brand new winners this season in cars that we never thought were possible. But it's going to be interesting and exciting. For us, though, for the rest of the week, we go back to our normal schedule. Tomorrow night will be the Pro-Ams returning in the GT3 class, and we look forward to seeing them make a return. Max Mulder in the McLaren is on a roll at the minute with Tim Ventink in the Ferrari. Both of them did fantastically well in the endurance race. Can they keep that pace up? Although both of them are carrying a penalty over their head. Whether or not they'll be done for that, we will see in the overall results, but nonetheless we see how they get on. And also Diz will be returning back in his BMW. Is going to be tight between the top 3 there. And then it's the pros returning back to Laguna as well, where myself, Clouden, returns back in his McLaren, and we got Richard Beasley and Michael Harris as well. So we'll see how all the boys get on at Laguna, a much colder Laguna than we thought. But from myself and everybody here at SimPlay Motorsport, it's been fantastic to watch, and I cannot wait for the Hungaroring. We will see you tomorrow night for the Pro-Ams. Good night.